So from September 2022 all the way to August 2024, I worked a job that I absolutely hated. Let me give you some context. I'd just gotten out of school, finished my A-levels, and I thought that I wanted to do engineering. However, I wanted a degree at the same time, so I got a degree apprenticeship, where you get a degree and you work and you earn money at the same time. It's a bit of a no-brainer. I ended up getting one of these jobs, unfortunately, right? My job role, to put it simply, there is no way to put this job role simply. To this day, I still don't have a definition, like a set definition for this job role, bro. It was so obscure. Okay, so I was a train signal engineer, meaning I worked with the traffic lights on the side of train tracks, yeah? To put it as simply as possible. I worked with the plans, the wiring, the paperwork, all that kind of stuff. Or at least I was supposed to. That's what I was told when I got there. I arrive at this office, I'm surrounded by people older than me. I slowly started to realize that this was not it. What I'm about to tell you is not an exaggeration, okay? I promise. For the first, I want to say 6 months, I had virtually no work to do. Obviously, they gave me a job here and there. These jobs usually lasted no more than an hour. So what I would do was, I would do the job, delete it all, and then do it again, just to fill my time more, okay? And a lot of people, my friends, okay, I told them I have no work at this job, and they said, bro, you've hit the jackpot. What are you complaining about? Listen. Go, sit at your desk, don't go on your phone, and just sit there. Sit there for 8 hours a day. Tell me if that's fun, okay? No, it's not. You'd rather be doing something, even if it's work. This is the closest thing I think I would say I've ever experienced to torture. Literal torture. But there you go. That's the general context for now. I'm gonna tell you about what I learned during this time. The lessons it taught me. Because you know what they say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, etc. Firstly, I learned the power in a strong routine. When I first started working this job, okay, it used to drain me quite a bit. I would wake up at about 8 o'clock, quickly get ready, get to work for about 8:45. That would mean I'd have to leave at 4:45. This job had flexi hours, so you could get there at 8 and leave at 4. And that's what the people around me did. So I would always leave 45 minutes later than them, which was really depressing actually. This forced me to get my sleeping schedule together. I started going to bed earlier, waking up earlier so I could get to work for 8. The day would go by quicker. I'm aware that I still spent the same amount of time at work, but because I could leave earlier, it made the day feel shorter. And also, I got more time at home, which made my time at home feel longer. A strong routine can get you through the day. So say I got there at 8, finished at 4. When I got there at 8, I would go get a glass of water, chill for a bit, maybe 5 minutes in the kitchen room, drinking my water, whatever. Go sit at my desk, pretend to do some shit. 9 o'clock hits, I get up, go and get another glass of water, chill, and it just splits the day up, okay? At every hour, splits the day up nicely. Routine is always about making life for your future self easier. So I would get home from work, I would immediately make my lunch for the next day. On some days I would go for a run, and I'll tell you what, bro, these runs were like therapy. Say you've got a load of dirt on you, okay? In this case, work is the dirt, and then you get in the shower and you wipe all that dirt off of you. Going for a run was the shower. I could get home from work in the foulest mood, go for a run, and feel like a new man. So it also taught me just how life-changing exercise, specifically running, can be. This job taught me how to socialize with people, because I didn't realize just how much having a chat with the people around you made the day go faster. Oh my god, after like thinking about it, my whole experience at this job, my whole goal was to make the days go quicker. That's all I focused on. It's wild. I'm just editing this now. I know I touched on it briefly, but I feel like I didn't emphasize enough just how fucked up that is. In life, we're supposed to appreciate every moment, but this job basically made me want my life to go faster. I didn't deep it at the time, but that is not a sign of someone who is enjoying themselves. That is not a sign of someone who is really getting a lot out of life. Someone who just wants the days to end. Because I feel like, no, you should want to make the most of every moment that you have. But yeah, when I first arrived at this job, I had just moved from a different city. I had no friends, I didn't know anyone. I was only used to just talking to my little bubble, and when I arrived at this job, I was a bit out of my comfort zone. I think I could have been perceived as slightly awkward. I probably was slightly awkward, okay? A bit quiet, maybe a bit moody. I think people got the wrong impression of me. The almost 2 years at this job, my ability to talk to people has changed so much. I have smoother conversations. I think people have a better first impression of me, because I think that's something I've always struggled with, making sure people get the right idea about me the first time we meet. And I still think I kind of struggle with it. But this was all through just putting yourself in that position of just having to speak to people. I would just force myself to talk. It came to the point where I would just force myself to talk. And you know what they tell you, like, if you want to get better at something, literally just keep doing it, and eventually you'll get more and more comfortable in that environment and you'll make progress. It also really made me think about bosses and how the whole system, the hierarchy of the work environment works. Because I had a manager who was insanely stressed, okay? Kind of out of his mind almost. And I was thinking, how is this bloke, who's no different from the people that you just see at the pub on a Saturday evening, managing me? I don't 100% have my shit together, but compared to this guy, I'm the most organized man in the world. To add to that as well, it made me question, there was a guy there who was very much qualified to take on a larger role, a more managerial type role, but respect to him, he just chose not to, because the juice was not worth the squeeze. He often said it was a 10% pay rise for an 100% stress rise. So very often you have to think about, is the choice I'm making really going to benefit me that much? Because let's just say this manager who was a big stress ball, yeah, sure, he was making more money, but to put it simply, this brother was taking years off his life. But he's a separate case. I might just make a video on him. He deserves it, bro. That guy, he was a fucking character. Never met anyone like him, but yeah. And I think previous to that, you know how it is in school, like you see your teachers, as authorities. At least I did. Like head teachers were kind of not scary, but you didn't want to get in trouble. But being in the job environment kind of switched that perspective. It made me think, these guys are just guys. If I walked past them in the street, I wouldn't fucking obey their commands. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird. I think unfortunately it also showed me just how, I don't want to say hopeless, but that's kind of what I'm getting at. Some middle-aged men. I was sat around 4 middle-aged men, and not one of them wanted to be there, and yet not one of them thought or was thinking about making a change. Hello again. I just want to clarify something. I am not asking these men who have wives and kids to just drop everything and go for something else. What I mean is, they're not even taking steps towards making a change. You can do stuff outside of work. There was one guy who would always show me what he was building. He'd always build stuff in his garden, like climbing frames for his kids and stuff. And I'd say, like, why don't you do this for other people? Because he was really good at it. And he said, yeah, my dad was a joiner, my granddad was a joiner. And I just thought, like, there's something there. You can do something with that. But he didn't see it that way. He thought, I've already got enough on my plate. And I'm sure he did have a lot on his plate. But if you really want to make a change, you will make time. And I guess he just didn't want to. They very often talked about it, applying for different jobs in different roles in different companies, but not one of them did it in my 2 years while working there. And it just made me think, like, you have to get out. You have to just get out. In fact, a couple of the, maybe even more than a couple of the guys told me, like, bro, get out of here. Like, you're young. You've got so much life ahead of you. Get out of here, man, because God knows we should have when we were your age, because a lot of them had been working there 30 years plus. Like, it's depressing. They were nice, some of them were nice guys, but I kind of just wanted to shout at them and say, like, yo, it's not too late. But I guess the money had gotten too good and they were too reliant on the monthly paycheck. But then again, surely there's another way. So yeah, it definitely put things into perspective. Like, they would have given an arm to be in my position, so I took that opportunity and I left. Right now I'm doing a degree in animation, thoroughly enjoying it. So glad I made the change. If you're out there and you're thinking about making a change because you've got a gut feeling that what you're doing isn't right for you, I beg you follow that gut feeling, because you don't want to be like one of those guys thinking back 30 years ago thinking, man, I should have made that change. So Do yourself proud, man. Have no regrets. What's the worst that could happen? Now we're gonna have the little segment talking about the artwork. As I'm sure you can probably guess, this was heavily inspired by my time at this train company. And yes, the emotions on this character's face say it all. I tried to think of just the most mundane, bland, lifeless environment that I could think of and draw that. So, you know, nothing stands out. There's not a main attraction, let's say. And I just tried to think of random mundane buzzwords like project overview and non-negotiables and stuff like that. You know, the stuff that just makes you want to just punch a wall or something. I think I'm gradually getting better at the realism look. I previously struggled with drawing environments and getting the depth to look real, but I think I'm gradually getting better at it. But yeah, I'm really happy with this one, to be fair. And it didn't even take me that long. The whole colouring and detailing process took me about 3.5 hours straight. Bashed that out, was in a fucking flow state, came out of it, needed a piss so badly, oh my god. Like, how can I not realise that I need a piss until I'm finished drawing? How is that possible? But yeah, man, I just don't think I'm built for the corporate desk job. I don't think humans in general are, to be honest. I think humans were built to do more, to endure more, to not be in such a lifeless, soulless, uneventful environment. I think humans are built to experience things, you know? Some people did seem to genuinely be in their element though. People used to strut about the office, walked around like they owned the place. Like, not me. Definitely not me. I don't think I could ever grow accustomed to something like that. But yeah, I'm fucking yapping. Anyway, that's it.